They have plenty of space there,
Okay.
adequate space.
So Long Island Railroad's not gonna quote-unquote gain any real waiting area space? Or you don't know yet?
No, we'll have
Yeah,
a
we'll have
waiting.
a waiting area.
We have a waiting, standing waiting area, and we'll also have, part of the
We have access to
ticketed
the
waiting, and we
ticketed
have
waiting
access to
area.
the ticketed waiting
Guess
area
we're
as well.
jumping ahead. Why don't we let you-
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
No, but there is waiting space for the Long Island Railroad, sure. Although the way we run service, there's not a lot of wait, right?
So this next picture.
Yeah.
Where is this? Where is this?
That would be on the balcony level, looking down. So you're looking, this is kind of on the 8th Avenue side.
One of your world-class.
So Mark, it's gonna-
Looking down,
restaurants.
and you see over there on the other side, the Long Island Railroad waiting, Amtrak waiting, that's a joint waiting, seated waiting area. And to the right of this this rendering would be the Long Island Railroad standing waiting area, which you really don't see there.
It looks like a casino.
So where's it near, Hector?
No, I'm just gonna, it's a visiting, like almost like an indoor mall. So you have like retail, you
Right.
have the tracks underneath, you have like the skylight. So in the middle is open, but then you have like a balcony. Each level's like a balcony, you can oversee everything.
So this is where,
Like
in
the
replace,
Oculus.
this is like where the that's where the video walls, when you're going on the 33rd Street?
Yeah.
If you
That
come
wall
in-
there, before the elevator, before you make the
Theoretically,
U-turn
if you were to come in
Right.
33rd Street and walk straight, that wall gets removed. That will pretty much bring you right into the ticketed waiting area.
It brings you right under this
right
chair,
at-
pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
That wall is pretty much a continuation of what that little lift.
The
Over
lower
here.
right-hand corner.
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay, so that's this over here.
So you're in there.
I got it, okay. I understand.
You see the next picture. One of the things they tried to do and SHPO probably forced them into this, even though they say it's something they wanted to do for the aesthetic. They've maintained the structural steel and the way it was built back then. This was actually, prior to World War II, this was a sorting area that had the daylight come in, but then they painted over it during World War II, as other structures were also painted over so that light didn't emit in case people were looking for ready targets.
That's an external landmark, but not an internal? Is that the building?
Its external and portions of the internal
Portions
had to
of
be
the
maintained as well.
If what they told us when they busted out this steel for the structure, it was in such great shape, they just decided to leave it and pretty much paint it.
Right, and it's also historic. There are some of these, you can't see it in these pictures, but some of these columns, they actually had places where the postal inspectors would climb up and they,
Spy.
Walk the
exactly,
beam
they
and
would
spy
spy
on
down
the-
to make sure people weren't stealing mail, but
It's
you
like
gotta know when they were up there or
It's
not
like
up
it
there.
looks like a duck, like like in the movies, people go into ducks. It's like a ducks with like these little things so the
Little-
people will be
little
spying on the
cutouts for them
workers
to-
that they're not
to look
stealing
down.
mail.
Yeah. So there's stories behind
If
it.
I used during Prohibition as well.
Yeah. Okay,
Sounds like
This-
something to make a tour out of.
I have nothing to do with, I don't have a lot to do with it. Steve and I have something to do with it, but construction is ahead of schedule, this next slide said. So you see some of the construction photographs here, which are from last summer.
This is Moynihan, right?
Yeah, so this says 6 out of 11. Actually, all of the escalators are installed right now, and the barricades that you see on the platforms will all be gone by this September 15th, September 6th, I forget the exact date, September 20th maybe. But it's this, I'm looking forward to that. So there'll just be protective elements up against the escalators until it's actually opened.
So none of it's gonna open until that.
Until
And
December 31st, 2000.
not
Well, there's
like
nowhere to go.
portions of it,
Right,
right.
there's nowhere to go. You on these escalators right now
Right.
particularly. This is the mid-block skylight, which has been completed since then. There's a, for some reason they included this to show you what where all the skylights are. Steel structures and Penn Station. This is, I stole this, so it says it's going to be a world-class facility. But we're not waiting for Moynihan, right? We also need upgrades at Penn.
Where are you?
Penn urgently needs upgrades.
Yes.
You won't miss
Or
that.
demolition.
No, it doesn't need demolition. I've worked here for 32 years. Penn gets I know, but
It's your baby.
I think Penn gets a bad rap sometimes, and some of it's deserved and not all of it. But for safety and security and circulation, our pedestrian volumes have tripled since the 60s. It's a safety concern. You know, there are times when it's so crowded, you know, you can't even frogger, as somebody would say, across the 33rd Street concourse. So we're going to get going on doing something with the, with
Let us
it.
know where you are, because I think you're flipping through quicker than.
Yeah, I'm getting past all this extraneous stuff that show all the entrances and exits.
That's maybe what you want to know.
The existing blue and the new or developed is in orange.
For the access
This way you go?
entrance, yeah.
Next one.
Next one.
There you go. Did you see the arrows?
Blue and orange.
Next one.
So
That one-
they'll-
You got that one in doubles.
Mets colors, I like it.
Or Islanders.
Or
So you see there's going to be
or
5 new
mix.
entrances, they're in orange. That includes actually 6. That includes 5 at the Moynihan and 1 at 33rd Street. We're going to expand the next slide, we're going to expand the concourse so that it's between 57 and 60 feet wide. It depends on where you actually take that measurement, because there are some columns at some portions, so some places it's only 57 feet 7 inches, but some places it's actually 60 feet wider.
Can I ask a stupid question? How are you making it wider?
Yeah.
That was my,
How you doing
that was my question I was about to ask.
Happens to the stores
What was
in
there
the
that didn't need to be there?
So all the
these
stores,
years?
all those stores go bye-bye?
It gets pushed back.
Those stores will get pushed back into,
here?
Yeah, so
into
basically
here.
this car here,
This,
everything gets-
this moves.
Oh, it does?
Where we are now is going to move.
Oh, okay. So everything gets pushed back.
Yeah. And there are some studies right now about where this is going to get moved to. Nothing's been finalized. We might be in, this might be moved to the basement of this area. It might be moved to the parking lot. Nothing's final.
So this concourse here that's going that way, everything is, so what's on that side stays on that side, what's on this side gets pushed back.
What's on
Yes.
the other side is owned by the railroads, and this side is not, just like the stores, that's a difference.
Yeah, this is all part of One Penn Plaza.
Yeah.
Right, but what we're actually taking back is a leasehold that the MTA owns, that they get revenue for, those storefronts.
The 27 feet is actually ours.
So that's a loss of revenue that we're
And you see,
anticipating?
well,
It's not our revenue on this side.
right,
Oh, okay.
but it is ours. What you see at like Le Cafe,
Yeah.
you see where the MTA took that back, and at the front of Kmart, the MTA has already taken, when that was renovated in 1994, completed in 1994, they took that portion back. Due to outstanding leases at the time, they couldn't take some of the other stuff back. But Kmart wasn't here until 1996, so they took that when they could.
Used to be a game room there.
Yeah, the arcade, yeah, I remember that.
But how
So
far
get-
back is that? And
Yeah.
that's not that far back. I mean,
That's about 15 feet, but we get 27 feet to where that starts going down. There is 27 feet there.
Pretty much to where the stairs are in Kmart, where you head down that ramp to get into the
Right,
Kmart.
right. The little
That's-
nook area where
So
they
that's,
sell
so
beer
that's
and
basically
snacks,
the
that's all
line
gone.
of wherever everything gets pushed back to.
Yeah.
So I don't want
That's
to jump
pretty
ahead,
neat.
but I do, what's gonna happen while the work is being done? Will anything be open, or just the other
No.
side?
That's
Just the other
just
side.
the other side.
So those guys already gotten their notices.
Yeah.
I think they have until August or something, or September to vacate.
August 31st.
Yes, we have that side.
Godiva just opened.
Well, Godiva opened
That's
up.
just a
Godiva opened up knowing that they were going to be gone. They opened up as
That's
a
why it
month
says
longer.
pop-up on it.
Long Island Railroad side is going to be out as of 8/31. This
Guess what goes
side,
at the end,
the-
that's what we're interested in. the
yeah,
supply chain.
8/31. Everything on that side goes. This side, it's really based on the state and Vornado and how well that goes.
Construction will be at the same time, to expand on one
No.
side and then the other side.
it's a
We
south
don't
side.
really know right now, but I can tell you that the concept is that they're going to do one side or the other first. So they'll always be at least 30 feet. They'll always be at least what we have currently.
There will probably be no retail.
At all.
Well,
There may, yeah, we don't.
McDonald's may survive for.
exactly. There may be a place to get coffee. There may be a place to get newspapers. That's what they're trying to do.
Put my
Well,
pretzels.
There may be a place to get pretzels.
I said popcorn.
Here's my,
Well, the exit concourse
when
is
you
also
guys, when you
pretzels.
guys redid the station, you took away all those Hudson News stations.
Yeah.
Will you consider putting some
That's those little
mobile
temporary,
ones? Will
yeah.
you be putting
Like a
mobile things in there for
kiosk
people to get?
Like the
What's gonna
pretzel
happen?
kiosk, the Hudson News.
Well, there's
there
one
gonna
at
be
the
more
exit
of them.
concourse. There's still one at the exit concourse, and there's still one over at where the Lost and Found is.
Unfortunately, the issue is, and again, I'm gonna remind you guys, I say it every single time, on 7th Avenue side, there's nothing to grab so they're quick to eat and go. It's all
McDonald's.
It's all the, yeah, but we don't, nobody wants to bring it on the train, nobody wants to see it on the train because of the smell. But it used to be, before the pharmacy was there was a bunch of other things. So whatever there was a
The
pizza
King
place.
Creole
There was a
or
pizza
whatever it
place.
was?
There was a pizza place.
Yeah.
There was a-
There's a lot of Reese
It's all
restaurants in
gone.
there.
On
Yeah.
8th Avenue, you've got a bunch of things you can grab quickly and go. So,
Yeah.
so I guess whatever you're redoing, just keep in mind, make
Pens.
it equal. whatever
We,
you're
we,
doing.
we,
I live here, you don't think it's painful?
I say it every time, I know it's sick of saying it, but I just, because-
This didn't get this way by, yes, I know, I,
well, then, shouldn't be looked at anymore
Too many
because it wasn't
visits to
there
this
anymore.
that's gonna happen.
So will the Pret stay and
I don't, no, the Pret's already gone at
Pret's gone
34th
already.
Street.
The one that's over by
Yeah, that's
Dwayne
gone
Reed?
already.
But they
where there's
bailed, that was,
Oh,
that
right.
was up to them. They weren't evicted or anything, and that has nothing to do with this. What's done on the 34th Street entrance is going to be, that's not fully defined yet. We want to do something to brighten it up and spruce it up and maybe
Yeah.
light it up, but that had nothing to do with why Pret left, they just left on their own. We're not really involved in retail and leasing space. We can make that known wherever we're at a meeting, that, and we have said, that people should have a place where they can get a cup of coffee or a soft pretzel, grab a newspaper, and they've said they're gonna try and do that.
yeah, it's been brought, it has been brought up a couple times, and it's known.
Bad enough you killed Timmy Hose, I mean, you know.
Who's
We
they?
We didn't do that
Dwayne
either.
Reed pretzels.
They got out of New York,
Did they?
yeah.
Who's they that you have those conversations with? When you say you let them know?
Tornado, you're
Mostly Vornado,
It's
they
mostly
do
Vornado.
the leasing of space.
We had met with Buonato,
Yeah.
I guess 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do another meeting with them.
Okay, so after you get past the arrows, that's what this is an artist rendering.
Right.
They have a lot of ideas for what they're gonna do. We want to increase signage, obviously.
No one's
Brighten
wearing-
up the
no one's wearing-
space.
No one's wearing a suit in the picture at all.
No, this was actually done on
weekend.
one of the weekends
Summer
when the main
Fridays.
line was closed, I guess.
Am I wrong?
These people are on their way to City Field.
Not anymore.
On an earlier page,
Not
it said the
anymore,
ceilings are
apparently.
gonna move from like 7 feet to 17 or
No,
something?
the apex of the barrel ceiling is 18 feet, so
17
it's going to be a uniform 18 feet. What you see at the high point of the barrel,
Is really,
the
it
iconic
goes the
barrel
whole
ceiling,
length.
yeah, it's going to be 60 feet wide.
And you square it out.
So
We're
that's
also-
already there, at some point
Just
it
gonna
was
get
lowered.
You're just
No,
squaring
it wasn't
out.
lowered.
No, it's just gonna get squared
right.
out, so basically you're
Do you
gonna
know
walk
the head
on the
knockers
side
that
of
are
the
right
wall.
outside? The head knockers that are at the 7 head knockers? We're going to remove those, but those head knockers, there were 92 of them. They went all the way down to 8th Avenue. They held up the taxi ramp, which was original, and I happen to have pictures. Horse and buggies used to pick people up from the Amtrak level, and take them out to 7th Avenue along 33rd Street, parallel to 33rd Street, and under the Long Island, and the Long Island Railroad Concourse was always where it is now.
So for 30 that high, I'm just asking, why is it saying heights are gonna go from as low as 7 to 18? Where are they being
Because
raised?
on the left, where the barrel ceiling drops, and that's where we run utilities.
Yeah.
Or that's where we currently run utilities. That's where it's as low as 7
Got it,
feet.
okay.
The next slide, we're gonna try and do something with the 34th Street entrance. We're not sure what. We want to accent the artwork and make it more, because people walk by it, they don't even realize it's there or what it is. The Ghost series, as it's known, as it was dubbed by the artist, David Leicester. We're gonna put in some glass walls so you can see down to the tracks.
This is on what we call the West End Concourse now?
That's on your main,
It's similar to what's on the West End
Similar,
Concourse,
right.
but this is going to be actually in the main gate area, next to the station master's office, if you know where that is, and
Yes,
across
yes.
from the waiting area.
Is Trax gonna stay? Or is Trax?
I think no. Right?
Oh, the clam bar?
Yeah, it's
It's very important.
not gonna be where it is now. I can pretty much say, I'm 90% sure.
I guess explain what's gonna happen with the
So they'll
ticket,
have
something's
a
happening with the
remodel
ticket
on it.
windows, right? So-
Yeah, the ticket offices, I'll get to that.
Yeah,
Oh,
we should
okay.
have with,
But you see you see this slide? We should be up to this slide?
Okay.
yep,
You see there's a new entry there at 33rd Street that leads right down to basically in front of where the ticket office is.
Okay, yeah.
In order to accommodate that, we have to push the ticket office back 20 feet. So the ticket office is going to be closed for a period of time, and it's going to be relocated to where, I don't know if you remember where Hot and Crusty was? It's now
Oh.
blue barricades, there's
Yeah.
going to be a ticket office built inside there. and it's going to be off the concourse so that it doesn't further congest the concourse, because that can get crowded enough in the PM. So we're going to add this,
And when are the tickets office, ticket removal, window removal?
I don't know.
Well, that's what we're talking about at the end, scheduling for
Yeah,
everything. That's I want to schedule for all of this because
We don't have a full schedule right now because we still have outstanding agreements with Vornado that have to be. This new entrance, as you see right here, and this is just an artist rendering of what it might look like. As you go through this, you'll see there are multiple concepts, but this is actually, we're going to need an easement from Vornado for part of what falls on what the Two Penn Plaza property is now on the south side. And that easement is currently under negotiation. So until we have that easement, they're not going to schedule, they can't put any construction scheduling. They hope to start this entrance sometime this summer. That's what they're hoping for now, because they want it, the opening of this, the state would like to see coincide with the opening of the Moynihan facility, December 31st, 2020. So they want to have this in place at the same time.
Oh, so that would be under this, so I get it, okay. I mean, it is a mini plaza now, isn't it, kind of?
It is. 33rd Street has been, it's not demapped, it's still there. There's a revocable consent from DOT. But there is a plaza there, so we would just punch a hole in the plaza, which sounds easy, but it's not. It's incredibly complicated. You wouldn't believe all the stuff that runs up,
Oh, I can
that
imagine.
runs above the Penn Station ceiling and through 33rd Street.
one was living on.
Oh, yeah.
So, there are several, they had some ideas back then. I can say that with no certainty that most of these are not going to happen.
That subway station entrance would stay over there, over by the
Yes,
bank?
right now it would. And it would be supplemented with an elevator that would be complemented.
Is that what's right next to it, that glass box?
Where are you?
Yeah,
He's looking.
I think that is it's in the vicinity of Benson storefront.
Yeah.
There's Bank of America.
Yes, that's exactly it.
That is the bank.
That's another Vornado easement, unfortunately. Or, these are all issues that have been being worked through right now, literally as we speak. So we're not exactly sure what it's going to look like. We're just kind of sure that it's going to have 3 escalators and a grand staircase. And we have to, and an elevator over there.
But it might not be this glass thing that's above it, it might be something different.
Yeah. They want it to be glass, they want it to be,
Like open.
they want it to be open, they want it to be,
When you say
Right.
they, who's they? You say they want it to be open, they want it to be, is that
the
the
state,
the state, the governor? Okay, I just know who that is.
they want it to be,
I want to
Act
ask some
like-
internal things.
yeah.
Like the stairways that go down to the platforms. Is that part of this redevelopment?
No.
Pushing back?
No, stairways are a separate project,
Are they being done?
yes.
Who's doing that? Amtrak?
Long Island Railroad's doing, I can say that we're starting with the 4 stairways on the east side of platform 11.
And when will that be done?
We hope to start that within the next 5 or 6 months. We'll go 1 stairway at a time.
I'm just trying to, and I'm sure this is your headache as well. What's happening to everyday commuters there, all this is going on? How are people gonna get in and out, you know, if you're doing construction on both sides?
We
and a
want-
stairway,
we-
and a-
right.
I just think the headache is gonna be, right?
Right. We're going to model it after our escalator, our current escalator elevator program.
But you can have the other construction going on at the same time.
Right, but it won't affect that. It will only take 1 stairway out at a time.
And the same width is gonna remain, right?
Yeah, exactly.
During construction, this hallway here is gonna be like the same
It'll
width.
shift, it'll be 30 feet, it might
Yeah,
come over
yeah,
this
right,
way, it might go that way,
Well,
but
people
it'll
are
always
gonna
be
be
that
actually
way.
physically working though at the time.
No, but they're gonna be working, the envelope of what the passenger is gonna be the same as now, it's just we're working off of that. We're not gonna be working,
It'll be
we're not gonna
in-
make,
closed.
we're not gonna make the passageways close,
Right,
smaller
right,
to
exactly.
work.
There'll be cattle
Tap walls
chutes.
or
There'll be barricades up working on. You know.
What is the first thing that the ticket office will be the first thing you anticipate being a part of the project, the apparatus?
Relocating the ticket office is the
That's the
first
first
thing. Yeah.
Would you put up,
But that wouldn't preclude preliminary work on the entrance either. There has to be work done at the platform level and possibly below that.
To add in the new entrances, you'd be closing old entrances?
No,
So they're open while everything works.
Correct.
I'm just
absolutely.
trying to anticipate any, possible.
Would you put in a construction office for people to go in and see the plans and to see what's next and timeline and renderings of what's coming down? So
I'm
with
sure that-
people
I'm
will-
sure
if
they are
people
going
have
to.
questions.
I'm sure that
There would be
yes.
something.
It's like along the lines of what they did for Second Avenue subway.
Yes,
that people go
absolutely.
in and see the simulations.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, we're going to be getting some of that project team. And there'll be a lot of public outreach. I'm sure they're going to try and get as much positive publicity out of this as, they can. So there's going to be
Is there
more
anything
than...
that this council can do to help in this project?
Any support that you can provide.
As things get closer, the more information you give us, the more we can help get out there, not afterwards, but ahead of time. We have email lists, we can be out to people, we can kind of get out there.
Or suggest how to get it, like the city field thing, like.
Right.
Right.
I think that within the next month or so, there's going to be an announcement by the state that's going to firm these plans up.
With a more solid timetable and stuff.
With a
Yes.
timetable, yes.
timetable. And I think the overall message is it should be at least just eyes on a prize.
Yeah.
Have your eyes on a prize.
And
It's going to be, there's going to be, we're going to keep the inconveniences to a minimum. Obviously, we're going to work, we'll have, boots on the ground, helping direct people, do what we got to do, we got to get the word out. But, the end game that's where I'm putting my focus right now.
right, and the entrance should be open. It's supposed to be open by December 31st. So that's,
It's fairly
not
quick
that far away.
turnaround.
Of this year?
no,
2020.
2020.
And the entire corridor project is supposed to be complete by early 2022. The corridor project, by the way, is phase 2. That'll follow about 3 to 5 months after the entrance project starts.
When you say 22, is that 2022 or
Yes.
2022?
2022.
The same mantra we always use, it's communication. That recent job that was just done by the subway, by the 1, 2, and 3, the whole thing, they changed. No one knew what was going on, there was no communication, there were no pictures going on. We just, again, we teach people not knowing, our mantra is always communication.
Yeah, this is the second time today that's actually come up for me and Steve, and unfortunately, I knew the people who did it, and that's about it. We didn't really have a lot of input on it.
But let's learn from that.
We
We
weren't
couldn't communicate where they were putting
particularly
equipment.
happy with what they did and when they did it and what they did to us and how they inconvenienced our customers and the damage they caused to some of our property. Unfortunately, that's New York City Transit. I don't know.
Right, but let's just make sure, let's not make the same mistake and not let, people know what's going on, they're glad that it's gonna change. If they don't know what's going on, they just feel like,
Right. Especially with, in the context of also New Jersey Transit and Amtrak and everything, to look at that big
it's
picture.
just making me happier and happier.
Well, Penn Station marches to the beat of 4 different drummers
Yeah.
between Amtrak, New Jersey Transit, Long Island Railroad, and the subway, and Metro North on its way. To engage Amtrak and New Jersey Transit, and there's competing agendas, there's competing realities, there's all sorts of competition. But we do the best. We do have a group that meets on a regular basis that tries to focus everyone's attention on the same issues.
Like a TAP,
A tap?
a technical advisory committee or the like, customer advisory committee?
No, it's not a customer. It's just New Jersey Transit, Amtrak, and Long Island Railroad all getting together in one room every 2 months and talking about what they've got going on and what's coming up and what they've done and how they're doing it and how it'll affect others.
We again offer our services if you feel that railroad is being squeezed out and things aren't being done right, or we've done in the past.
Yes.
We're more than happy to publicly,
And we certainly
speak out for it.
appreciate that.
So just let us know. Because we want our riders to want it done as quickly and efficiently and safely as possible. And if you
Absolutely.
need help in getting that done, we're here to do whatever we need to do, right guys?
And that's our primary
Careful, I may
focus
walk
also.
down here with some vests for you one day.
And the hard hats.
It depends on the way we're working.
Just curious, you're running this whole show, but yet,
I'm not running this whole show.
well, I got the impression, one of you guys,
No, we're just cogs in the wheel.
just cogs.
We just
They're like
happen to,
they're the railroad point person.
we happen to be here a lot.
Oh, okay. No, just because just last week, Amtrak was holding focus groups about Penn Station and the renovation.
No, that was Moynihan.
Moynihan, okay,
Yeah,
well,
we were,
it's-
we all held focus groups at the same time.
Which leads us to what was on our agenda, is we didn't know about this, we're supposed to be your contact person with the writers.
I didn't know that either.
And we,
Yeah.
you know.
I didn't know you didn't know.
We didn't know, we would like to have been involved in helping get writers to be there and be part of it.
Oh, we have
You're gonna
I
get some
think they
emails
had
moving forward.
adequate turnout. I don't know how they did it.
We were not
Well,
involved in it at all.
I did find out that the fact that somebody from the council got an invitation, no,
Yeah.
it was random.
yeah, I
It
got
was-
an,
But it
I
was
got-
it was randomized. They reached out to commuters randomly, and they picked commuters. It wasn't.
But we've had
Oh,
this
yeah, no, they didn't know that I was
Yeah,
on
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But we have had this discussion over and over again, that we want to be part of these things, and these focus groups. We mentioned that specifically, you know, to you guys, because that's, we're here to be.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't know that. I would have made sure you were.
Yeah, and it didn't give you a lot of time either. It was like Thursday afternoon, they're calling for Monday night, Monday night at 7 o'clock. I had a doctor's appointment, otherwise I would have rescheduled, but I would
So-
have liked to have been on that.
So, John, if you guys tell me things, then I can tell them.
I didn't know.
No, I didn't know either, so I can't.
Let's rectify that. So.
Right.
Okay.
What's a good way, can we jump in somehow and help rectify that? Who would we reach out to, Amtrak?
No.
Well, Amtrak, we have somebody, but this
Yeah.
was, but if,
What
usually
is
the
it? Is that
information
ESD
goes through the
Moynihan?
mayor if they know.
No.
Is that ESD?
Yeah, it was ESD. It was WSP. It was,
I mean, you can reach out.
that's
at
the
least
other
to-
thing. This,
Yeah, a lot of cooks, it sounds like.
yeah.
Can we get a tour of Moynihan? Is that at a place where we can do that?
It's really, I'm gonna be honest with you, right now, it's just it's 4 walls and a lot of scaffolding. You really,
You can't see anything.
You're not gonna
You-
see-
You wouldn't, you can see where the holes in the, I mean,
that's really,
You
you
can
got
see
2
the-
skylights.
yeah, you can see where the escalators have been installed, but you can't really envision what it's gonna be.
So it's more like a year from now, it'd be a good time to take a look at it.
Yeah, maybe later this year.
Even
maybe
later, the
maybe
fall, I
September,
think the
October.
fall would probably be better. They're saying the fall, we're gonna see.
You said something's gonna be exposed in September, right? Something.
The only
you
thing
said
is-
something's gonna be open, like more to see, like they said the elevators or
Well, it
something.
won't be, but everything will be completed. Nothing will be
okay.
open, but the barricades come down. But I think during the fall, you'll see more of the actual structural. You'll be able to get an idea of, okay, this is what we're gonna be, as opposed to walking in now and being, okay, where's the ticket office right now? Where,
Right.
And that's what it's like,
yeah.
yeah.
The other thing is it will be scheduled. We're not. It's gonna be it would have to be an early day type tour.
When you reopen the ticket offices, will they be the same amount or be less? Now, if you do this more mobile ticketing, you're gonna go back to the same amount of, or you're gonna shorten.
That's still up for discussion. I know they have talked about less ticket windows.
They're never all manned anyway, so why have somebody?
That's one issue.
They man like one day of the year, right before the first day of the month or something, that's about it.
It's kind of like being at Walmart, you know?
And, you know,
Why have 20 windows if there's only 6 people
Yeah,
working?
60, yep.
and I don't
No,
know
it's
if you're
for
aware-
summer Fridays. That's where that comes in handy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware that Amtrak has completely moved away from ticket windows.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, everything's on the phone or you go online and get a ticket and print it out. And they have the full, the
Yeah,
conductors
the,
walk around with these
Right.
and scan. So they've completely moved away from it.
But that's everybody, it's business in general. I
Right.
did work for banks and less
shame.
tellers, more
It's a
ATMs,
shame because
you
you
know?
missed the customer service.
Well,
So if you have a problem,
we
or I
have
need to
robots.
change my train, I missed my train, I need another ticket, which is
Well,
Amtrak not here.
It's an Amtrak issue, yeah. And they do have that, and they have to call 1-800-USA-RAIL, but they're good about it. They'll
Yeah.
change if you're on the train, they'll change it right on the train. They'll send you a new one onto your phone. So they've pretty much got answers to most of those issues. I know that Amtrak,
The customer service office now, which is by the ticket office,
yeah,
that's also gonna move where the ticket offices are gonna go?
the ticket office is going to be where it is, and there'll be customer service there.
Customer
It's just gonna be
service
a
is going to
temporary
follow.
one.
Customer service is following the ticket windows everywhere.
The one in Hot and Crusty is
It used to be-
Temporary.
It used to be a separate place, but it's gonna stay.
Yeah, but my thing was, why should I make a customer that goes up to the window there, says I have a problem with my ticket, doesn't give that much information? Okay, go down, take a walk to customer service. Now they schlep all the way down here, and it's like, oh no, this is cash. I'm sorry, you got to go back to the ticket office. That would drive me up the wall doing that to the customers.
Yeah.
So you don't anticipate any construction starting before the summer?
No.
Because we want to do our Meet the Council event, I want to make sure we're not going to do something like right in the middle of you have construction, so we have to get it done before the summer.
Or you
When
could
the
do a
gov-
meet the council on a West End concourse. You know, it would help me promoting the West End concourse.
We're here to serve.
But, you know, we do, yeah, but I hear your, I hear what you're saying on that.
We did a thing with Phil, I forgot a few months ago, we did it out in the Western Concourse, like a meet the manager kind of thing.
Yeah, we're gonna be holding our next safety event down
Yeah,
there.
so it's a
We're gonna
nice
be
space
doing
to
a
do
Summer
that.
event down there.
We just gotta get the air conditioning working
Problem
down
is,
there.
everyone comes from the 8th Avenue, has no idea it's over there in the middle, you kind of get both.
Right.
But that's it, you get a bigger bang for the buck over here.
In front of Kim.
We used to do it, right where the police car is, that's where in the past we've always had it, right table right there, so get released.
Right.
You said there was a safety event going on?
Yeah, they're doing the yearly safety events going on down there in June. So we got a lot, we're trying to
I
move
mean,
a
so
lot
one
of
idea is
stuff
do
down
it, you could do it at the same time, because we're gonna have a lot of activity there. Drawing people there and we give out prizes, so that's one thought for you.
there. Yeah, I think they're doing it 3 to 7 if I'm not
One.
mistaken.
June.
I just saw the date, but
20th, is it the
I'll
20th?
find it, I'll send it.
Might be June 20th.
If you can let us know about any of those events, because we will help let people know about them. And also look at that as dates for the council.
Maybe any questions for these guys, before we let them get back to,
Oh, good.
I asked Glenn.
Listen, you guys see me walking around here every day, so if you got something to stop me, ask me, you got my, just
Thank
shoot
you.
me an email.
Can I throw something at you?
Sure.
Lately, I've been working near here, and I become a tour guide because I was working in the Penn Hotel across the street. And there is not one sign that tells anyone on 7th Avenue, the Long Island Railroad here. I cannot even tell you how many people have come up to me. I don't know why they come to me, but they come, do you know where the Long Island Railroad is? There's not one sign that says anything about the Long Island Railroad on 7, which is like the main entrance.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I mean, even if you're gonna hang a temporary banner or something, but if you go up there right now, I challenge you to find one piece of paper sign. There's nothing there. Nobody knows it exists, and they're looking for it.
On that 32nd Street,
I'm talking about like right across the street from the Penn Hotel.
32nd Street entrance.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Just says Penn Station.
Yeah.
We have TV studios in the Penn Hotel, and there were people that were coming out of there they were coming out with their luggage. They were looking for the train station, and I see them asking the guy. He goes, "Oh yeah, it's that over there." You know, asking the concierge or whatever they call those guys.
and since Mike isn't here, I want to echo his comments. During construction, let's make sure ADA people are well aware of what's going on, people who have vision problems, that there's going to be something out there to let them know what's happening, when to go, when not to go. Can we please just be extra sensitive to these older people that are going to be in Penn Station that they can't see you, can't hear, and we really need to make sure that they're safe.
Particularly if they have a regular route.
Yes.
So one thing related to that one, you know how we restarted the ADA task force? We ran something by them that's gonna be announced at the board meeting this month is we're adding a new help point. I think it's Glen Head Station.